I told y'all. I warned y'all to prepare yourselves. I told y'all. I knew it was coming. I knew it. But for those of you who are still shocked, appalled, and upset,
What was that? The weather. Very peculiar, don't you think?
not really. I'm gonna run through this show very quickly because that ending left a sour taste in my mouth. I was prepared for this. I knew it was gonna happen. Am I surprised? No. No, not really. I knew it was happening. I knew it the moment that Brian Breaker resurfaced and Jay got the upper hand last week. I knew it was coming. It was only a matter of time. Plus, this whole bloodline shit is playing into it. And Solo ain't got no belt, so he damn sure can't have his brother with no belt. So I knew it was coming. I'm mad. I will say I'm mad about it. But, you know, what can you do? What can you say? At least he was able to hold the title for a limited amount of time. 28 days is not a long time. But at least he was able to say he was Intercontinental Champion just like his father. So, as ugly as that sounds, it's the truth. One day, maybe Jey Uso will have another shot at another singles title. May not be the Intercontinental Championship, but maybe. It's just very disappointing. And I understand that it's for the sake of the story. But at the same time, I feel like you could have told this story in a different way without costing Jey Uso everything in the process. And it didn't have to force him to go back. You could have done it my way, which has had Jimmy and Roman intercept the bloodline, and everybody was out there fighting, breaking it up, and Jey Uso was able to get the win over Braun Breaker. You could have done it that way. But instead, it's almost like you want Jey Uso to be broken and to be on the back end with his back against the wall, having to turn to his family. When it should be that he should want to turn to his family, not just because he has to or because he's fueled by rage and the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of situation. I don't think it had to be that way. But Triple H love pissing the IWC off, child. So it is what it is. People are crashing out on both ends with Samantha and Jay. I don't know why you're crashing out with Samantha. She's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions. If she was fired, I can understand you crashing out, but she left on her own accord. So it is what it is. Triple knows be sacrificing a lot for the story. He needs to be stopped. Well, it is what it is, babe. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. Unfortunately. So we're going to run through this very quickly, and then I'm going to get off of y'all line, and I call y'all Wednesday when we talk about everything. But the show kicked off with Seth freaking Rollins just pretty much taking out Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed didn't even get a chance to come into the arena. He had his stomach hanging out, his titties hanging out. Seth Rollins bust that nigga in the back with a damn suitcase and was whooping his ass. They split them up. He went out to the ring stomping, took his jacket off, threw it on at one of the damn producers back there. They was like, hey, goddamn, Child, once they got to the ring, Seth called out Bronson Reed and said, bring that ass here, boy. Okay? Whatever you got going on, I don't give a fuck. Okay? You want to be famous? I'm going to make your bitch ass famous. I got you. Bring your ass out here. Bronson Reed comes stomping out there like he get ready to go eat at catering and shit. He comes stomping out there. They get to fight. Shit get real. Now they got referees, producers, Adam coming out there, taking off his glasses like that means something. He hollering and screaming at folks, okay? Nobody's listening to Adam. They never do. But I distinctly remember Adam said he likes the chaos, that he curated this show for the chaos because it makes for good TV and it's good competition. So whatever you have bred, this is your fault and I blame you. Okay? Okay. Any whoosies. Sir, they get to fighting. Bronson Reed gets Seth freaking Rollins on the men and puts him on the table. He just throwing security guards and pushing everybody everywhere. And child, Bronson Reed decides he wants to jump off the top of the barricade and lands on the table. And when I tell you that table exploded, I don't mean that figuratively. I mean literally. Go on Twitter and type in Bronson Reed or Seth freaking Rollins. Huh? Didn't matter. That side from that table flew up in the air. It didn't just fall like it does when somebody else jump on the table. That fucking side flew up in the air, baby. So the table exploded. All right. Bronson Reed jumped off the top of the barricade onto the table. Table collapses, but the pieces of the table are flying everywhere. Okay. They still fighting. Bronson gets up like he ain't do nothing but just scrape his knee, and he getting up ready to fight again. They had to get the men in the back all throughout the night. You kept seeing Bronson attacking Seth or Seth attacking Bronson. Now, as the show progressed and it got towards closer to the end, Adam got so frustrated and upset that he said to them, and I quote, "Did either of you selfish bastards ever consider that I was going to make this match for you anyway? You didn't have to do all of this to have this match." I got a question for you, Adam. Did your bald-headed ass ever consider that this is your fault? And I know a lot of y'all probably like, Tiffany, what you mean? Well, girl, I'm finna walk you through it. I just told y'all. The man said he curated the show because he likes to control chaos. The problem is he can't control the chaos. Chaos isn't meant to be controlled. Hence, why it is called chaos. That's the first problem. Second problem I have is that your bald-headed ass had 2 motherfucking weeks to get this shit straight, and all you had to do was make the announcement that they were gonna fight at Crown Jewel. But you like the mess, Adam. You like the drama. You're toxic. You're a toxic manager. You enjoy it. That's why you say you like the chaos, and that's why you say you want the hungry competition. That's what you call it. But it ain't that. You just like chaos and mess. You like being a messy bitch. You like being a messy queen, honey. That fuels you, right? Because you got something to do. Then you be claiming you just need a drink. No, you don't. You don't need no drink because you like the chaos. You love it. Because you petty. Now, the match has been made, y'all. There are currently 3 matches on the card for Crown Jewel, and Seth and Bronson Reed's match is one of them. All he had to do was announce that motherfucking match, and it would have been done. And if they was attacking each other, all he had to do was put the mandate in order that if they kept on attacking each other, that they would not ever wrestle each other, and they would be indefinitely suspended and pay a hefty fine. Because that seems to be the only thing that controls these motherfuckers, is not being able to wrestle. And when you ain't on TV, you ain't getting your TV money. So you got to fuck up their paycheck. But you do you, Adam. Okay? It's always some bullshit with you. Always. He said, I'm going to have to intervene personally. That catering food has to be busting. Okay? It got to be. It got to be. He fucking knew. He knew. He knew. Hey, B. Jeffers. Hey. No, I knew it was Adam's fault. It's always been Adam's fault. Adam just like me for real. That's why he my man. I don't like the fact that you said he your man, but I'm gonna let you have that one. I'm gonna let you have that one. Let me tell y'all about the tag team tournament. Because the tag team tournament surprised the hell out of me today. Shocked me to my core. Okay? Let's start off with the first tag team tournament match. Let's start off with the New Day versus AOP, a section of the Final Testament. Now, I've been telling y'all for a couple weeks that these messages that we've been getting from the YS6 have not just been for The Miz, but also for Final Testament, because it's very convenient that the time frame of these little cut-ins of the QR codes and everything that they mention always happens around Miz and Karrion Kross together, never separately. Okay. Karrion either is leaving the scene when that QR code comes up, or he's literally standing there when that QR code comes up, which led me to believe that the next target is the Final Testament along with The Miz. Okay. Now, why is that? The reason why that is because R-Truth abandoned the one person who believed in him no matter what side he was on. Miz always had R-Truth in his corner. And when, of course, R-Truth's antics got the better of him, the Miz couldn't take it no more. To Miz's credit, I can understand this fool cost you your championships by listening to Liv Morgan's coked out ass. He has done so many things that have put you in impossible situations. This is what led to the opening of the trickster of Karrion Kross coming in and planting seeds. I thought you used to be the Miz. You're not the Miz anymore. Your R-Truth is bitch. You let R-Truth run the show. Why are you listening to him? Why are you even lowering yourself to be his tag team partner? Shit like that. The angel and the devil. I call Karrion a trickster because that's what he is. They manipulate and gaslight to get their way. And he has been doing that this entire time. He has literally gaslit Xavier Woods into believing that he is somehow owed something, that he hasn't been given his just due. And to Xavier Woods' credit, he's actually right in some aspects, but he's had opportunities to win championships, to beat current and former champions, and he's lost on his own merit. Not because somebody interfered, not because he wasn't good enough. He simply wasn't up to par that day. So he lost. You pick yourself up and you keep it moving. But that's not good enough for Xavier. Okay? Now, in this match, it seemed pretty even kill between the two teams. Everybody was fighting, and then Miz brought his ass out there on some Dark Knight shit. Don't understand why he was out there. I was very fucking confused by that. But he said, we've been over this, Tiffany. Me and Nicole. Go share him. Nicole don't want him. Nicole don't want Adam's punk ass. Child, you ain't gonna do nothing but keep him the way he is with your punk ass. Anyway. If you ain't gonna change him, you can't be with him. Shit. Anyway. Xavier and AOP and Kofi, they all had a decent match until we saw the Miz sitting out ringside. And then we saw Karrion and Scarlett standing over there chit-chatting like a good old team. Like they was happy. Yay! Then R-Truth pops up a little bit later. Takes out Miz. Karrion is, doing his best to run interference, and they end up laying out R-Truth. Now, this distraction led to a roll-up pin on one of the AOP members. Okay? And once that happened, Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston won the match. So everybody was celebrating. Yay, we're happy. R-Truth came in there because he did provide enough of a distraction to give them the W. If it wasn't for that distraction, the win may not have been as easy for Xavier and Kofi. Now, it was during this part of the match, or rather the ending, that really took me out, because Xavier and Kofi walked away. R-Truth was still gloating, standing on the ropes, singing to the fans, yada, yada, yada. And then he is pretty much blocked off by the Final Testament. They wanted their lick back. So they started jumping him and attacking him along with the Miz. Now, Xavier did not want to have anything to do with it. Kofi, on the other hand, was like, yo, this our man, 20 grand, we going in there. Xavier was like, no, no, he got it. He understood. Like, he gets it. He know what's up. He know what's up. He would not let Kofi go back out there. He would not. Now, this whole time, Kofi is standing there fighting to go back in the ring to help R-Truth. Meanwhile, the lights go out. The music begins. And then when the lights come up, the White Six are all in the ring. And they're not just going after The Miz. Oh, nay, nay. They've come for everyone. Everyone. Not only is the Wyatt Six going after the Final Testament as a collective, but they also have made it very clear that The Miz is not going to walk away unscathed. You see, the Wyatt Six have made it very clear that they will not tolerate anybody turning their back on their family, especially those they consider to be family. Now, in this lifetime, you can curate your own family or you can be family by blood. And in this case, the Wyatt Six is a curated family. So sometimes that bond can be a little bit stronger. That loyalty can be a little bit deeper. And when they see someone throwing away family, they become very, very triggered. And so they set their sights on their next target, which is the Final Testament. And every single person within this group was attacked and led out of the arena, with the exception of The Miz and Rickety Bones himself, the manager of AOP. I don't remember his name. What's his name? Paul Ellering. That's his name. Paul was in the ring in the corner sitting down because you know his knees hurt. And as the Wyatt Six and the Final Testament, fought their way out of the arena, the Miz thought he was safe as he was cowering in the middle of the ring like the coward that he is. Except you forgot there was a member that didn't show his face yet, and that member was Uncle Howdy. And as the Miz felt safe in the ring, fixed his clothes and was standing there cheesing with that piranha face of his, Uncle Howdy decided to go on the attack, attempting a mandible claw, but Paul Ellering pushed him out the way and was subjected to the mandible claw himself. Rickety Bones goes down in death to Paul Ellering. He probably gonna be gone for a little while, which thank God. His old ass need to go sit down somewhere. He looked like every time he walked, one of his bones is brittle and gonna break, child. So that was that. The New Day advanced in the tournament, and we had one more tag team match that we had to not suffer through, but watch. LWO was facing off against American Made. American Made, not gonna lie, I thought they had this match in the bag. But come to find out, it was none other than LWO's Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio who were able to pick up the W. Now, the interesting thing about this match is that majority of the match, American Made was dominating. They looked very strong and they looked extremely good against these two, a future Hall of Famer and a future champion of some kind. Now, as this progressed, and of course, Chad Gable tried to cheat and intervene, Zelina Vega got that ass together. And of course, Chad wasn't having that, so he sicked his little pit bull onto Zelina, but Zelina had a trick for her ass. Her Karana, she was laid out. Blew her little kiss to Chad Gable, and it was game time. LWO picked up the W, and American Made was sent back to the showers. So the final matchup next week is going to be LWO, The New Day, and the War Raiders. All three teams will face off in a final triple threat to determine who the number one contender is for Judgment Day's tag team titles. Speaking of Judgment Day, it seems there is a little dissension in the ranks. You see, earlier in the night, there was a match. And we were having a good old time watching the match, enjoying ourselves. And then Damage Control was being questioned by Jackie Redmond. Now, as Damage Control was being interviewed, Raquel and Liv decided to cut their interview off because they weren't relevant. And because she's a champion, she had a message for Nia Jax. I'm like, girl, you could have went to the ring after they got done and cut your promo there. As they're talking, she cuts them off and says, Nia, you did this and you did that, and I'm going to get you back, and I'm going to be the first women's crown jewel champion. And I'm just like, girl, you said all of this. You could have said this on your social media page, bitch. Instead of subjecting us to this bullshit. Are you serious? Now, as Kyrie and Io was talking, Liv is cutting them off. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't give a shit about anything you're talking about. That's all she kept saying. They talking. Here come Raquel with her fake teeth having ass, walking in front of everybody, taking her glasses off. That's supposed to mean something. In the words of Don, let me tell you something Spanish, Rachel. Okay? You snatching off your glasses don't mean anything. And if I were Io and Kyrie, I would have called your bluff. Now, Io has clashed horns with you before. So she know what she getting herself into. You might be a big bitch, but big bitches fall just like everybody else. And I would have been like, I'm going to climb your big ass like a tree, and I'm going to cut your ass down like a tree. And if you keep getting in my face, I'm going to take your ass to the night water. You understand? Back your ass up off of me. Thank you. Now, the girls was like, since you out here talking shit, we can go out to the ring and have a match right now. So Liv and Raquel agreed after Raquel decided to step in everybody's way with her big back ass. They had a match. During the match, fucking Lash and Jakara, as much as I love y'all, I do. I love y'all to death. You two hoes is getting involved in shit that don't have nothing to do with you. I could low-key understand it if you had real beef with Io and Kyrie, but y'all started the beef with them. You got involved in they shit for no fucking reason when all you had to do was wait and see who won and then attack Kyrie and Io if they had the championships. If you still wanted another championship match, why are you not going after the tag team champions and not Io and Kyrie Sane? Huh? Girl. So they laid out, after they got involved, there was a disqualification. That means Raquel and Liv did not win the match. Damage Control did due to DQ because Io took a forearm punch from Lash. Okay? This was after Jakara and them was antagonizing Io, and Io was able to throw Jakara's orange-headed ass over the barricade. And she got laid out. Meanwhile, Kyrie was able to lay out Lash, but this didn't go too well because both of them ended up getting up, going in the ring, and hitting their finishers on both members of Damage Control. Now, this led to a small little confrontation between Raquel and Liv Morgan and Jakara and Lash Legend. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind watching Lash and Jakara go up against Liv and Raquel as long as Liv and Raquel lose. But I know tomorrow, Lash and Jakara gonna lose. Io and Kyrie Sane gonna beat them tomorrow. Whether it be on their own reconnaissance or not is irrelevant. They're gonna lose. Okay? Okay. Love that for you guys. Love that. Let me see these comments. Rico said, oh, I'll elevate him. Child, elevate him to what? Puppy dog? Love sick slave? What you gonna elevate him to? You don't turn him into no man. Ugh. Ugh. Messing with you, he'll start wearing shorts to work. Ciao. Hello. Hi, Nicole. Okay. So let's get back into it. All right. So we had that. Now, during a little face off, Rhea Ripley came out there. She been coming out there every week, giving, making sure, making sure, honey, that Liv and Raquel can't sleep easy no motherfucking where. She told Raquel's ass up. Raquel was in the ring with her one on one. Liv did not interfere. She whooped Raquel's ass. Liv trying to fight her, thought she had the upper hand. She whooped Liv's ass. And as soon as Liv was getting ready to suffer the fate of Rhea's signature, child, here come her man coming in there to save her, per the usual. Now listen, I told y'all that they was gonna make this so that it could have a little bit more juice to it, right? Because they gotta start setting shit up for Survivor Series. Now they done made it so it's a little bit more complicated than it needs to be. But Liv and Raquel have now expressed interest in those tag team titles. Okay. Now I'm just causing it like I sees it. Okay. I'm just telling you what I know. And I've been right. I have been right. Okay. So follow me. I told y'all how they was gonna set this shit up. Y'all just gotta stick with me. Now, they get to the back. Raquel and everybody get to the back, and Judgment Day is on the screen. Now, Raquel is pissed because she done got her ass whooped by Rhea Ripley, and she didn't like that. She said she come back there and she said something. JD say something. I don't know what the fuck his big headed ass said, but she was like, she got mad at him and was basically like, when I get my hands on Rhea Ripley, I'm gonna, basically rip her head off. And I was like, girl, you had ample time and opportunity when you had your ass out in the ring to rip her head off. What the fuck happened? You got your ass beat, Spanish Rachel. Yeah. Yeah, it goes like that when you suck. It's terrible. It's terrible for you. I feel bad for you. Not really, but you know what I mean. This is what led to the information, this situation that I just was like, child, boom. Let me tell y'all what I heard and what I believe is gonna happen. Okay, hold on. Let me see what Remy said. Remy said, "Liv is the equivalent to unseasoned potato salad, baby. Baby, I'm telling you, she on that mess. And the only thing that Raquel, she on that stuff. I'm telling you, she is on that shit. I'm telling you. And Raquel's ass is right along with her because when Raquel was cutting her promo, why was Raquel's upper teeth white, but her lower teeth was like normal discoloration, normal wear and tear? If y'all didn't peep, I'm telling you, she on that shit right along with her. She on that stuff. She is on that stuff. That's why her teeth like that. I'm telling you. I tried to tell y'all that meth heads and heroin addicts and shit, they teeth go when you be on that shit. Tried to tell y'all. Y'all told me I was crazy. Tried to tell you. Anyway, so as they was in the back and they having this conversation, right? Liv reins her back in and says, hey, listen, we got to focus on Nia Jackson, Tiffany Stratton. I got to get this championship. And then Finn and JD have to focus on those tag team titles. That's the plan. That's the goal. We need to do that. So Finn is like, and she was like, right, Finn? Isn't that right, Finn? And he was like, yeah, like, I don't have no issue. Like, me and JD will take on any tag team that come our way. No shade to Kofi and Xavier or the LWO, but I hope and pray it's the War Raiders. I really do. Just so I can see them get their asses whipped. Okay? Now listen. Here's the part that you got to pay attention to if you missed it. Okay? This is what you got to pay attention to if you missed it. Now, in the back, while Judgment Day was in a little cuppy hole, Dominic and them and all standing there and they all talking and everybody's listening. And Finn is like, we're going to defend our titles with absolute, domination. It's never going to be a problem. Everybody was like, of course. Yeah, sure. And then he goes, but my problem is Damian Priest is making another play for the World Heavyweight title. And I don't like that shit. I was like, Raggy, He deserves another shot, babe. Seeing as how he never truly lost the title, that you cost him the title, and he's never actually re-challenged for that title again. He's never had a actual rematch, which technically he's rightfully deserving of. Anyways, so Finn was like, I'm not gonna let him do that. He's not gonna get a title shot before me. I should get a title shot. And Dominic was like, what about me? What if I want to challenge Gunther for the championship? Finn was like, what the fuck? Everybody started laughing, which that was the appropriate response, in my opinion. Because what the fuck? I, this is why I'm finna say something. Y'all ain't gonna like it. But I'm gonna say it. And I'm gonna cut this clip and put it on my Instagram. This is what happens when you get pussy and you act like it's the first time you ever had pussy before. This is what happens. This is what happens when you get with a bitch that overindulges you and hypes you up when she know you ain't shit. This is what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens when you get on that shit. When you on that stuff. This is what happens. It's the audacity of you to even think that you could even challenge Gunther for the championship. You're going to need the entire Judgment Day, Yo Daddy, the LWO, and Final Testament in order to beat Gunther. And I don't even fuck with Gunther like that. But I know damn well that Triple H bald-headed ass is not going to let you beat Gunther when he could have had Sammy beat Gunther. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. Okay. Kiss my ass. All right. You can kiss my entire ass. I have a lot of ass. You should hop to it. Okay. Because absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're crazy. Not she giving him love. What she giving him is heroin and meth and alcohol, probably. And lots of chicken nuggets with ketchup because he's a child. Ranch and ketchup and chicken nuggets. Sad. Sad. This is why he needs vegetables and water. This woman to you. Missy Elliott said it best. Pussy don't fail me now. I gotta turn this nigga out. Tell him, Rim. Cause he don't want nobody else but me and only me. I do the Mike Jones version. Who? Mike Jones. I'm sorry I'm from Cleveland. And when I was a kid, Mike Jones was he sampled that song. He did. Don't look it up, bitch. I don't know what to tell you. He need the Avengers, girl. All of them. Past and present. Okay? And future. Bitch, because there ain't no way. Ain't no way. I'll never believe it. Even if they somehow was able to pull that shit off, I will never believe it. Never. Because there's no goddamn way. No way. Coco said it best. All this ass sit crazy on me. That's nuts. Now, Finn was taken aback by this. He didn't like this shit. Okay. Finn was like, the fuck you mean? Like his face, you couldn't really see his face, but the posture and the way he stood when Dom said that shit, he was like, the fuck you mean you want to challenge Gunther for the title? And of course, everybody stepped back and no shit, straight out of normal reaction. Fucking JD and Carlito just started laughing. I thought it was funny too. I'm like, it must have been a joke. It had to be a joke. Because there's no way. There is no goddamn way. Okay? So, child, Finn didn't say nothing. He just kind of stepped back. Now, this This is your crack. This is the beginning of the end of Don's beloved street trash. This is the beginning of the end. Now Raquel's strong back ass got mad because Dominic, because Carlito was laughing. It was fucking funny that he would even assume that he could even be good enough to beat Gunther, even be well enough of a challenge to Gunther. That little nigga gonna eat his ass alive. What the? Anyway, she gonna tell Carlito that's not cool. I think it's very cool because your ass be kikiing and cackling every time you text somebody, every time somebody come and do something, every time Raquel's strong back ass take somebody out, you think it's the funniest thing in the world. So why we can't laugh at your bitch ass man? We know your man ain't shit. You know your man ain't shit. You know that. But you keep him high off of your supply, child. Pussy and meth. Pussy and meth. Sad. Sad. He said he be getting his ass beat the next go round. Child. Cole said Finn is a loser. He need to chill out. I mean, he got a right to be mad at Dom for even assuming that he could go after the title. I don't think he should be concerned with Damian Priest anymore, seeing as how Damian Priest beat him fair and square. I don't know what his obsession is with Damian Priest. Don't really care. But it seems he got a mentality of, if I can't win the championship, your ass can't win the championship. But if I was Damian, if Damian is truly done with Judgment Day, then he won't have nothing to do with what's going on with their titles. But me, I'm petty. I'm petty. I would do some ignorant shit like dress up like Doink the Clown and cost them their championships. That's just me. It's Halloween anyway. It's getting ready to be Halloween. So I would cause some shit. Unless they're gonna, they're gonna be somewhere where they can't. You know what I'm saying? Fuck 50. What she say fuck me for? What I do? Hey. So we got over that part. Now, the only women's match we had tonight was between Damage Control, Strongback, and Meth Head. So we didn't have no other women's title matches or any other women showing. We saw Raquel, we saw Jakara and Lash take out the Damage Control girls, but there was no women's tag team champions on the show. There was nobody else, and except for Rhea, there were no other women showcased on the show outside of Zelina Vega and Bulldog Heifer over there in American Made. Other than that, no other women were scheduled to be on Monday Night Raw. Now, told y'all about the tag team champs, okay? Told y'all about that. We saw what was going to happen with them. I think I'm not missing nothing. This show was relatively short. They went by pretty fast. Yeah, like I said, they went on ahead and won that. Now, I'm going to get this out the way before we get to Jey Uso's thing. Lillian Garcia was brought back to replace Samantha. Samantha has officially left WWE. She penned a letter to all the fans, the WWE superstars, some of the employees that work in the back that she worked with on the regular. She put all that information out on Twitter, Instagram, so you can go and read her in her own words what she wanted you guys to know. She thanked the WWE Universe for taking her in and respecting her and understanding what she brought to the table. She did all of that and she bid her farewell. And Lillian Garcia, Jillian, I think it's Jillian. Is it Jillian or Lillian? I don't know. Garcia was brought back in. I didn't really care for Garcia when she was there in the 2000s, so it didn't really matter to me that she was there. I did see some discourse online how people were saying they wish it was Alicia Taylor that got fired, except for Samantha. Samantha did not get fired. Let me just make that clear, because some of y'all are quite stupid. She did not get fired. She left on her own accord. And Alicia Taylor and Samantha are two different people. And it is okay for them to exist in the same world. Just because you're black doesn't mean that all of us are going to be the same. Black people are not a monolith. We like all different types of music, all different types of food. We have different style. We're not all going to be hip hop heads and walking around using AAVE. It's just not possible. So some of y'all need to just leave that lady alone. Y'all attack her mercilessly online just for her being herself. That lady has never been problematic to anyone, and she is just herself. And y'all seem to have a problem with her just existing. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with y'all, but y'all really need to chill the fuck out. Sometimes your opinion is not needed nor necessary. Let it go and leave her the fuck alone. Leave her alone. God damn. Let me see what these comments say. Here, Tiffany, we're thinking the same. It's Lillian. Okay, whatever. I don't know that lady like that, so I guess I guess child. That's her name. Cool. Now let's get to the part of the show that everybody was truly upset about. I tried to warn y'all that this was going to happen. Officially, Jey Uso has been champion for 28 days. And in that time frame, he has defended that championship more than Braun Breaker did in his first title reign. That's a goddamn shame, but it's the truth. Now, let me tell y'all something. The title being on Jey Uso to me was a better fit. Why? Because Jey Uso was hype, he was fun, and it was cool to see him face off against different people with different styles. With the way Braun Breaker operates, you already know how this is gonna go. We already know that Jey Uso more than likely is never gonna get that championship back. He's probably gonna end up going into the fold with the family due to the fact that they cost him his championship, which I said before, they could have did this much, much differently. Jey Uso could have simply retained his championship because of his brother's interference instead of retaining or losing his title because of his brother's interference. They should have went in a different route. This just left the sour taste in our mouths because it makes you wonder why you had him drop the title to Jey Uso in the first fucking place. Was this just a consolation prize? Something to say, hey, thanks for selling out merch? Or did you truly believe that he was worthy of being Intercontinental Champion? Because if that's the case, then you would have kept the championship on him and let Braun Breaker move into different pastures. But in this match, Jey Uso and Braun Breaker were battling it out. They always have pretty decent chemistry with each other, so I didn't expect this match to be bad. However, like I told y'all, the bloodline was going to interfere due to Jey Uso coming to Raw, coming to SmackDown on Friday, trying to talk some sense into his little brother. This interference from the bloodline was blatant and direct. If they were truly trying to help him, then they would have walked away when he rebuffed their help. But instead, when Solo suffered a spear from Braun Breaker, instead of him taking out Braun Breaker, who was right there, Jacob kicked his cousin in the face, laid him out, and then threw him back in the ring for Braun Breaker to simply pick up the pickings. And they walked their asses away, knowing that they intentionally cost Jey Uso this Intercontinental Championship. And now we stuck with this brown bitch as Intercontinental Champion, probably until sometime next year. Probably. I'll say Money in the Bank. He more than likely is going to keep that championship. If Jey Uso gets a rematch, I doubt Jey Uso will get the title back. I tried to warn y'all on multiple occasions that this man was going to get this title back, especially with it being on a Monday. If this was at Crown Jewel, I probably wouldn't have been that gun-ho about it. But because it was on a Monday and WWE always doing some nefarious bullshit, I knew that this is the way they were going to go. I knew it. So it is what it is. It left a sour taste in my mouth and a lot of people's mouth. But I knew it was going to happen, so I was more prepared. I'm telling y'all, this is how it's going to work. Jey Uso is more than likely going to show up on Raw on the attack because he's pissed. And of course, Jimmy and Roman is probably going to be there. So there'll be a little bit more even kill with the three of them. But they're going to need a fourth. And the only other person that I can think of that can act as a fourth in this bloodline is Sami Zayn. However, understand that Kevin Owens is on a tear. For anybody who happens to side with Roman Reigns in any capacity, he goes on a vicious personal attack with every single one of them. Sammy hasn't been seen on television since he lost to Gunther. Okay? Just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Raw recap. Okay? It was a good show. I liked it. Again, it's moving at a fast pace. We're watching it, we're enjoying it. And by the time you look up, the show is over. You don't even realize how quickly the show has gone by. But the show was good and it was packed with enough stuff going on that it didn't seem to drag or feel like it wasn't enough happening for you to stay interested. Even though I pretty much can tell what's going to happen in the show or how things are going to go, it wasn't to the point where I felt like the show was dragging and I didn't want to watch it. I actually really enjoyed Monday Night Raw today. So it was a good show. And if you recorded it and you have the opportunity to watch the playback, you should definitely watch it in the playback because it's worth it. Now, two things we need to discuss. NXT is going to the ECW arena. Now, if you don't know, ECW used to broadcast their show from an arena in Philadelphia that is now named the 2300. Don't know if it was called 2300 back in the day because I wasn't an ECW girl. That would take one of my homegirls to tell you about ECW. I don't have the full knowledge. I only know what I see right now. So if you got the knowledge, put it in the comments. I will make sure it's shown so everybody knows what's going on. But ECW is a classic wrestling promotion that was formerly ran and owned by Paul Heyman, and they used to broadcast their show from the current 2300 building, which was known as the ECW Arena. Now, NXT is going to Philly. I believe it's in November for the ECW. I guess you could call it the NXT. They're going to stream it. It's called NXT 2300. That's what they're calling it. Sir, love that for them. Tomorrow you're going to have a couple of matches. Obviously, Lash and Jakar are going to go up against Damage Control tomorrow on television. You're also going to have a match between JC Jane, Fallon, and possibly Jasmine. Two of these three members of Fatal Influence will face off against Julia and Stephanie Becker. And you're going to have a couple of other matches that are going to happen tomorrow as well. So I hope you guys are going to stay tuned into NXT. NXT is a fun time. For those of you who don't watch NXT, you are truly missing out because it is the antithesis of what we see on the main roster. It's good. It's also very evenly paced, but Triple H is not always the one who makes the main decisions. Shawn Michaels does. So you have a different way that things flow on NXT And it also leads to some really cool surprises that surprise us all. Shawn Michaels really knows how to swerve you from thinking the worst. He's not a linear thinking person, and that's what really makes NXT great, is the fact that he's able to shake things up when they need to be shaken up. With all that being said, Sunday is Halloween Havoc, and the match card is filling up. So you guys be prepared, because I'm going to go live on Sunday after that PLE. So this week you're going to get a bonus live. Tomorrow I am on break. I do not go live on Tuesdays anymore because I don't get the same numbers that I get on my other lives. So I don't go live on Tuesdays anymore. I lump everything together with Freestyle Wednesdays. So watch NXT and then come back on Wednesday and we'll talk all about it and all of the stuff on the final show leading into Halloween Havoc. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed this recap of Monday Night Raw and the little precursor into NXT. I hope you guys enjoy NXT tomorrow, and I will see you guys on Wednesday for Freestyle Wednesday. Okay? Thank you guys so much for coming in. Please, please, please join the membership. All right? The membership has some perks on there that are coming. They're not quite there yet. So if you want to wait a little while, when I start uploading videos, please do. We're going to have some scary videos coming up, and I have some other concepts for videos coming up within the next year or so that are going to pop up on the membership. So please, please, please sign up for the membership, and we'll get all that content popping and ready for you guys. I'll explain in the membership intro video further. So you guys have a good night, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Also, don't forget the merch. The merch is available on fourthwall.com. Love you.
If you don't want to see me, if you don't want to see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me? Maybe, but look at where I ended up. I'm okay already.